Okay, so today I'm going to take a moment to discuss the importance of keeping your projects organized within a project file, okay? Basically, a project file is going to be a folder that's going to go ahead and contain all of the assets that are part of your Maya project, all right? So whenever you create something new, in Maya, whether it's a new scene or new color map or bump map or anything like that, it's going to automatically save it after you've set this project file in one of the folders that the project file creates when you first create the project file. Okay, so it's a little easier to kind of visualize if we just kind of go through and create one. So we'll do that right now. So I've got my scene open here. I don't have anything going on there yet. First thing I want to do is just set my project. Okay, so I'm going to come up here to File, and I'm going to open up Project Window. Okay, it's going to give me this window right here. It's got a bunch of names of folders in here. Okay. Basically, this window is going to allow me to create this new project file that will then contain all of these useful folders for me that Maya will then automatically use to save the assets from my Maya project. Okay, so anytime I save a new scene, it's going to go into this project folder, and it's going to go into this scenes subfolder that we're creating right now. So let's go ahead and create this. We're making a new project, okay, so I'm just going to hit New. It's going to allow me to then change these right here. Now, normally, by default, your computer is going to want to go ahead and set up your project file in a default area where Maya is saving things, okay? You probably want to put it somewhere a little more accessible or easy for you to find and get to, right? So you can manually choose a location to place your project file just by clicking on this little folder right here, okay? Now, I'm going to set mine right here on my desktop, okay? It's a nice, easy place for me to get to, so, I'll be able to find all my files very easily. So I'm just going to hit Desktop. What you're seeing here is just other stuff on my desktop, so don't worry too much about that. So once I've got it set to my desktop here, I'm just going to hit Select. And up here, I can choose a name for my project file. Okay, I'm just going to name it Cool Project. Alright. And you can see all these down here. This is going to create a bunch of folders, as I said, that will then later store any assets that you create in Maya. Okay, it's going to automatically place them in these folders. So let's go ahead and hit Accept. You don't really need to mess with those guys, okay? Hit Accept. Now, as soon as I've done that, right here on my desktop, you'll see I now have this Cool Project folder, okay? If I open it up, inside are all those little subfolders that I was telling you about, alright? So a couple of these that will become pretty important at this point in Maya are going to be your scenes folder here, alright? This is where all of your scenes are going to be automatically saved after you set up your project folder, okay? Then also source images, 3D paint textures, okay? This is where you're going to find any 3D paint textures that you create during your project, alright? So, those are two that we kind of use a lot to navigate, alright? So, let's go ahead and kind of test out this theory and see how it works. I'm just going to come in here and let's put in a cone. My amazing scene here that I've worked very hard on. so I've got a cone here. Now, when I save my scene, I'll just go to File, Save Scene, alright? It's going to ask me for a name, and you can see if you look at the file path here, this is automatically saving to that new folder, that cool project folder, okay, that I created on my desktop. So it's heading to desktop, heading to my project file that I've created called Cool Project, and it's placing it right in the scenes folder for me, okay, without me having to manually choose that. It's just automatically heading to that folder. Okay, so I can name it whatever I want. Let's name it Awesome Cone. And I'll just hit Save As. Alright, it's gonna pop up with this little student version warning, which you're probably quite familiar with by now. Alright, so now if I head back to this Cool Project folder, and I open up the Scenes folder here, here is my Awesome Cone Maya scene, okay? Which is great. I know, got it, it's there, it's organized, that's all fine. Now, if I create some 3D paint on my wonderful cone here, I'm just gonna assign a new material. We'll give it a Lambert number 2, okay? I'm just going to right click and hold. I'm gonna come down to Paint, 3D Paint, okay? And I'm gonna go through this, a little quickly, since it's not really the technical aspects of the paint procedure that we're interested in, more the project file process at this point. I'm just gonna make sure my paint is set to color here. Hit Assign, Edit Textures. Okay, this is gonna create a new texture file for me. Hit Assign, Edit Textures right there. And now I've got my little paintbrush. I can come up here and pick a color, do whatever. And I'm gonna paint my masterpiece there. Amazing. Okay, so I've got my color map. I'm gonna hit Q to quit my paint tool, and the little X there to get rid of that. So I have my color map here. Now if I head over to Lambert 2 with my object selected, alright, that's the Lambert that we assigned to this cone. We can see right here at our color attribute, we've got this 3D paint file that's now coming in to color our cone, okay? We can access that 3D paint file just by clicking on this little box with a triangle in it here, okay? This is going to bring up the file itself, and at the moment you're not going to see anything in this image name area, okay? That's because we haven't actually saved our scene yet, so none of the stuff that we've done here is permanent, but once we do come up and go to File, Save Scene, you're going to see this suddenly pop up over here. And this is a pathway telling Maya where on your computer it should search for this paint file so that it can go retrieve it and display it on your object, okay? So if we take a look at it, we can see that it's telling Maya you should look in the source images folder, then you should look in the 3D paint textures folder, and then you should look in the Awesome Cone folder, and the file is called pconeshape1 _ color.png. That's basically all that's saying. It's just telling Maya where it needs to look to go find this file, fetch it, and place it on our cone. So if we do that right now, we can open up our Cool Project file. We can follow those instructions. So again, it was source images, 3D paint textures. Alright, we can start there. So we've got our source images folder, 3D paint textures. The next one was Awesome Cone. And here it is, pconeshape1 color.png. That's our color map. Alright, so we've created, and it's already all organized. Now, the reason that we do this is because if I were to move this beautiful color map that I have here to somewhere else, say I set it over here on the desktop, it's not here anymore, it's not in this folder structure, we're going to run into some problems, alright? So I'm gonna go ahead and close out my scene. Okay, I'm gonna open it up again. My awesome cone. And now, uh-oh, where's my beautiful paint file that I spent so much time on? So as soon as I have moved that file, Maya's not going to know where to retrieve it from anymore, okay? So when I come over to Lambert 2 here, and I check under my color, where I should be retrieving the file, you can see the pathway is still the same. It's saying, hey, last time I saw this file, it was in this source images folder in 3D paint textures, awesome cone, and this was the name. This is where I found it. So it's going to continue to look there in those folders. It's looking, again, right here. There is nothing there for it to find, okay? So obviously that's going to be a problem, because if you turn in your assignment without this guy right here, or if this guy right here is sitting somewhere that it wasn't originally when the project was saved, you're no longer going to have access to it if you're viewing it from another system, or even from the same system if you've moved things around, okay? So there's an easy way to kind of to tell your computer anyways where to find the file if it's somewhere else, you know, and you want to relocate it. You can come over to this little manila folder. You can manually go and find that file and say, you know, hey, it was in that folder before, and you know, somewhere else now. I like this other place better, so I'm gonna tell you where to find it now. So this time I've moved it to my desktop, so I can navigate to my desktop here and tell Maya, hey, now I want you to look for this on the desktop. I don't want you to look in these folders anymore, okay? And I can just hit open when I've found it. And now it's going to be looking in the new location, alright? Now, we don't actually want to have this just sitting out in the desktop or sitting out in some other folder somewhere else on my computer. We actually much prefer it to be in this file structure, because if I have it somewhere that's organized with all the rest of my project assets, okay, that way it makes it very easy for me to open up my scene, and we'll go ahead and redirect it again back to that proper folder, since we told it to go look on the desktop last time. We'll tell it, hey, I want you to look in the regular folder again. My project file. Here it is. We'll save that. Okay. So it's back in its regular folder, and the reason that we do that is because when I go ahead and send this project to my art director or somebody else on a system that's not local to my computer, so I just, you know, I zip this up, for example, or compress it, and I say, you know, hey boss, here's my cool project, here you go. They're going to be able to then get this, open it up, and Maya's going to be searching for that paint texture, and it's going to be stored right here in this project that you've sent, okay? So it's a part of this entire package that you've sent, okay? If it were sitting somewhere outside of this folder structure, alright, Maya would be looking for it in some other file on your computer, and it's likely to get left behind. Okay? So that's just, the reason we keep everything organized in these project files, so that it makes it easy for other people working on projects to retrieve those things later, okay? So let's go ahead and work with Sharky now, and kind of deal with creating a project and moving our scenes and other assets into place so that we can get it ready for turn-in, okay? Alright, so I've gone ahead and opened up the Shark assignment that you have sent to me. Okay, and we've got this folder right here, but this isn't a project file. It doesn't contain all those folders that then contain all the different assets of your project. Alright, so what I have basically is just the Maya binary scene, okay? And I don't have any color maps or anything else associated with the project at this point. So when I do open that scene up, what you get is actually your shark model, but because Maya is looking for the color maps in a location that's outside of the folder that you've sent, those files, obviously, unless you had sent them to me, they don't exist on my computer. So it's looking for them, and they're just not there. So if we go to, again, if we kind of head on over to our Lambert, right? And it's actually way at the end of all these different things. Okay, so we've got this shark skin material. We head on over to that. We look at our color. We can see it's looking for a color map. And we can see the file path that it's looking for the color map in. Alright, it's looking for a color map on the F drive, in a folder called All Class Stuff, in a folder called Maya Projects, 152 Assignments, Source Images, 3D Paint Textures, and so on. And here's the name of the file, okay? So it is saved locally on your computer, alright? But because that file was not sent with the project, the file is not here on my computer, so Maya is unable to retrieve it, okay? So let's go ahead and create a new project for our Sharky scene, okay? And just give it a home to live in, alright? Because at the moment it's just kind of hanging out on its own there. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to File, Project Window. I'm going to create a new project here. I'm going to set mine on my desktop again. You can put this, wherever you want it to be, wherever is comfortable for you. You may even actually already have a project file and have just taken the Maya scene out of it for turn-in, okay? So if you already have, your project file with all the necessary files inside it, just send it to me, and we'll get you going there. But if you don't have one yet, we'll create one right now. We'll go through the process. So I'm just gonna name this Shark Project. Okay. Oops, hang on, just selected my desktop. Okay, right up here I can put my name. Shark Project. There we go. Okay. And it's sitting on my desktop. I'm gonna hit accept. So now, anything I save with this project from now on, we should start to see being saved in this Shark project. Sometimes at first we will have to move things manually over to our project, okay? So I'm going to hit File, and I'm going to hit Save Scene As. Alright? And you can see now it's going directly to that Shark Project /scenes folder that I've just created. Okay? I can name it whatever I want. Shark Assignment 5, if I want to, I can name it that. Anything really is fine. Hit continue. Okay, so I've got my Shark Project file, I've got all my folders in there. Now if I look in scenes, here's my scene, alright? More importantly, if I create a 3D texture, alright, for my shark, let's just do that real quick here. We'll do some paint. I'm not going to be that exciting today. I'm going to paint my shark yellow, just like my cone. Just really love that color. Okay, so there's my shark. And I'll just go ahead and save that. Just save my scene there. Alright. Now we should see, there's my beautiful color map popping up right there for me, okay? Now, obviously you already had a color map that you worked on, you probably worked hard on, you probably don't want to start all over on that guy. So, let's also go over, again, just quickly, how we can reuse the color map that you actually already have in our new project folder. Okay, so let's say this is a color map that I worked on a whole long time ago. It's sitting in some other folder somewhere on my computer. Just name this shark stuff. I've got it over here. It's hanging out over here. It's, that's all good and fine. So I'll exit out of this. Just to kind of simulate what may be going on with your shark scene. Alright, so I'm opening it up. And, we'll say that when I created that beautiful color map, that it was already sitting somewhere else on my computer, okay? So I'm just going to reset it right here. Don't worry too much about what I'm doing with this. We'll talk about it in just a second here. Okay, so here's my shark. Got my color map. We can see the pathway here. It's not in my shark project file, it's somewhere else in this shark stuff folder that I have. So, so when I do go to turn in my shark project, and I, zip this shark project up and ascend it, that's all great, except for when I look in my source images here, there's no color map. It's going to be looking for the color map in this shark stuff folder, okay, which is where it's living on my computer right now. So if I just send shark project without this shark stuff folder where my color map is living, somebody on the other end is going to open up this shark project and Maya's going to look for your color map in this shark stuff folder, which they may not have, alright? So it's not going to find it, in other words. So we want to make sure that we're always putting everything into folders that we can send all as one big project all together, okay? So that we make sure that when it gets to wherever it's going, that people will be able to open it up and work on it or view the content, and all that good stuff. So yeah, to fix this kind of a problem, I would just, as I just did quickly there, would navigate to that shark stuff folder where I had that, and I can just manually place my color map into the appropriate folder in my actual shark project folder, okay? So I'll do that one more time for you briefly, okay? So it was over here in shark stuff, all right? Close all these little windows to make it a little less confusing. So it was hanging out over here in shark stuff. There's my color map. I don't want it there. I want it to be with the rest of my shark project. So I can just come over here and open up my shark project. Go to Source Images, 3D Paint Textures. Here's the name of my project. Yours may be named something different, right? And I can actually just pull this over and place it right in that folder, okay? So it's sitting in there now. My shark stuff folder is empty, all right? And my color map is inside my shark project folder. So once I've done that, I've moved my map, okay? So the next time that I open up my shark project, we're gonna open it up, go to our scenes here. You know, I've closed it down, I was done working on it, I open it up after moving something around. Oh my gosh, it's gone. My beautiful color map. It's, you know, it's just because my, again, is still searching for where the map was before, which was in this shark stuff folder. It doesn't know yet until we tell it specifically that, hey, we moved it into this shark project folder. We have to go in and tell Maya, hey, you should look for this here now, okay? So again, we'll just grab our shark. We can go to our material right here in the attribute editor, okay? Again, it's going to be the very last thing here. At the very end. There it is, shark skin material. We can go to our color here. Again, we can see that file just by clicking on this little box with the triangle in it. And it's saying, hey, I'm looking for the material in this shark stuff folder. It's not there anymore. I don't know what to do. So, you know, again, we'll just click on this little folder here. And we're automatically taken to the appropriate folder area in our shark project, okay? Maya wants to help you this way. It wants to keep you organized, so it's gonna automatically pop up with these folders where things should be, okay? So we'll just click on that guy, hit open, and it's back again, all right? So from now on, Maya is going to look for this file in your project folder under source images, you know, just follow that 3D paint texture path, okay? It's nice and organized. And now, we'll save that. Now that we have our color map included in our project file, hanging out right there where we want it to be, when I send this entire project file full of all of its wonderful different folders, now I not only have my scene included, okay, my actual shark scene, but I also have any relevant textures included as well. Okay, so it's just ready to open up on any other computer anywhere. All right. So that's just kind of a, you know, the basic idea with project folders, keeping your projects organized and making sure that when you do send things that you've got, you know, everything all included, okay? Let me know if you have any questions about this. It can be a little confusing at first, but, you know, I'll do whatever I can to clarify if you need any help with it. If not, you know, just send in that project file to me and make sure you got those maps, the bump maps, color maps, and so on included for your shark. Alright, and that's it for this video. So thank you for watching and happy modeling.